Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Christmas is just around the corner and you know what that means. It's time to bring those warm, festive touches into our homes. One of my favorite traditions is setting up a nativity scene. It's a beautiful way to remember the true meaning of Christmas and share that story with our loved ones. And you know me, I love a good DIY project, especially during the holidays. So today we're going to get a little crafty and create 8 unique and easy DIY Christmas cribs. We're using simple everyday materials that you probably already have lying around the house. Let's get started. First up, we're taking something ordinary like an old shoebox and turning it into something extraordinary. We're going to use this shoebox on its side to create our stable. Now, I love the rustic look, so I'm going to line the inside of the box with some brown craft paper. It'll give it that warm wood-like feel. And for the roof, we're going to use some twigs we found on our last family walk. Just hot glue them right on top. Now for the heart of our nativity scene, the figures. You can find these at most craft stores, but I think it's so much more special to create our own. We're going to use some air-dry clay to mold Mary, Joseph, baby Jesus, and even a few animals. Don't worry about perfection. It's the little imperfections that give it character. Once they're dry, we can paint them and add little details like fabric scraps for clothing. To finish it off, sprinkle some cotton balls around the base for a touch of snow. For this next project, we're going to use popsicle sticks to build our stable. It's a fun one for the kids to help with. We'll start by gluing the popsicle sticks side by side to create the walls. You can paint them if you'd like, but I love the natural wood look. So we're leaving ours as is. For the roof, we'll create a slanted top by gluing the popsicle sticks at an angle. And for a little extra touch, we're going to glue a small bundle of straw right in the middle for the manger. Now, you can use small figurines for this one, or if you're feeling extra crafty, we can make our own out of clay, like we did in the last project. This popsicle stick crib is so charming and rustic. It'll look perfect on a bookshelf or mantle. This next project is so simple, but oh so magical. We're going to create a glowing nativity scene inside a mason jar. First things first, we need to create our base. I'm going to use some cotton balls to create a fluffy bed of snow, but you could also use shredded paper or even sand for a different look. Next, we'll carefully place our nativity figurines right on top of the cotton. I found these adorable miniature figurines at the craft store, and they're perfect for this project. Now for the magic touch, a battery-operated tea light. We'll place it right behind the figures, and when we close the lid, it'll illuminate the entire scene. To finish it off, I'm going to tie a piece of twine around the top of the jar and add a sprig of evergreen for a festive touch. Chapter 4, Clay and Dough Creations from Our Hands to Your Home. This next project is for all my fellow clay enthusiasts out there. We're going to get our hands dirty and create our very own nativity scene from scratch. You can use air-dry clay or even salt dough for this project. I'm using salt dough today because I love the rustic texture it creates. We'll roll out the dough and use cookie cutters to create the shapes of Mary, Joseph, baby Jesus, and even a few animals. Once the shapes are cut out, we'll bake them in the oven until they're nice and hard. Then comes the fun part, painting. We can get creative with colors and patterns, adding our own personal touch to each figure. To display our creations, I'm going to use a small wooden box that I found at a flea market. I love the rustic, worn look of it, and it's the perfect size for our nativity scene. Chapter 5, Cardboard and Paper Masterpiece. Simple supplies, stunning results. Don't underestimate the power of cardboard and paper. With a little imagination, we can transform these simple materials into a stunning Christmas crib. We'll start by cutting out the shape of our stable from a piece of cardboard. Then we'll use construction paper to create the walls and roof. I'm using a dark blue paper for the night sky and a warm yellow for the stable walls. To add some dimension, we'll cut out stars from yellow construction paper and glue them onto the blue background. We can even use a hole punch to create tiny stars for a sparkling effect. For the nativity figures, we can either print out templates or get creative and draw our own. Once they're cut out, we'll glue them onto the cardboard base. To make our crib extra special, we're going to add some LED fairy lights. The soft glow of the lights will create a magical ambience. Chapter 6. Nature's Nativity, bringing the outdoors in. Let's bring a little bit of the great outdoors into our homes with this nature-inspired nativity scene. For this project, we'll be using twigs, bark, and other natural elements to create a rustic and charming crib. We'll start by gathering our materials. Head out to your backyard or a local park and collect some fallen twigs, pieces of bark, and dried leaves. Once we have our materials, we can start assembling our stable. We'll use hot glue to attach the twigs together, forming the walls and roof of our structure. For the base of our crib, we'll use a piece of bark or a flat stone. Then we'll add some dried leaves and moss to create a natural bedding for baby Jesus. Finally, we'll arrange our nativity figures inside the stable, surrounded by the beauty of nature. Chapter 7. Jar lid nativity, small scale, big impact. Who knew that those leftover jar lids could be transformed into adorable nativity scenes? We'll start by giving the inside of our jar lids a fresh coat of paint. I'm using a deep blue to represent the night sky, but you can choose any color that inspires you. While the paint is drying, we can gather our nativity figures. For this project, I'm using small, flat-backed figures that will easily adhere to the inside of the lid. Once the paint is dry, we can start assembling our scene. We'll use hot glue to attach the figures to the inside of the lid, arranging them in a pleasing composition. To add some sparkle and shine, we can sprinkle some glitter or glue on a few mini star sequins. And there you have it, a charming and compact nativity scene that's perfect for displaying on a shelf or tabletop. Chapter 8. Book Page Crib, a Storybook Nativity. For our final project, we're going to upcycle an old book into a unique and meaningful Christmas crib. I love the idea of using a book because it symbolizes the story of Christmas. Plus, it's a great way to give new life to an old treasure. We'll start by carefully folding the pages of the book inward, creating a series of peaks that will form the roof of our stable. Once the pages are folded, we can use paint or markers to decorate the edges of the pages. I'm going to use gold paint to create a subtle shimmer. Next, we'll arrange our nativity figures in the center space created by the folded pages. To finish it off, we can decorate the cover of the book with festive embellishments like stars, ribbon, or evergreen sprigs. I hope you enjoyed creating these DIY Christmas cribs with me today. It's amazing how a little creativity and some simple materials can transform our homes into cozy and festive spaces. Remember, the true meaning of Christmas lies in celebrating with loved ones and remembering the reason for the season. And what better way to do that than by creating a beautiful nativity scene to display in your home? Don't forget to subscribe for more fun and festive DIY projects. And be sure to share photos of your creations with me on social media. Happy holidays, everyone.